triangle on their paper. One of the things we're going to go over today are proportional parts. Triangles. First thing we're going to talk about is you've got a big triangle here. Okay? Let's call it triangle A, B, C. Now, if I draw a side parallel to this side right here, which would obviously be on one of these grid lines, wouldn't it? Okay. What I actually end up doing, if this is parallel to this triangle ADE is similar to triangle ABC. It will always be. So, with regards to similar triangles, what are the sides that are proportional to each other? AD over what? AB would equal AE over what? AC, which would equal what? We're doing the smaller first. DE over what? BC. Does everybody see that? With this part, we're dealing with similar triangles. We could create a proportion, any one of these three proportions of two similar triangles. But what this section adds to us is the idea of proportional parts. Okay? This is similar triangles. And that's what you're going to have to, when you're doing these problems in this section, you're going to say, okay, am I dealing with similar triangles or proportional parts? Because they are separate. They aren't the same proportion. And what I mean by proportional parts, what did I draw that, separated a side into parts? What did I draw after I drew that triangle? You got to stop drawing and just look up here for a second. First, I drew this, right? I drew this whole big triangle. Everyone agree? Eyes up here. Eyes up here. After I drew that big triangle, headphones out. They better not be on, Anthony. Those aren't on, are they? Okay, take them out of your ear. You can't hear as well with them in there. Okay. Then I drew this side that was parallel to this that created another triangle that was similar, right? When I did that, I created parts. If I call this part X, this part Y, this part A, and this part B, what we can always say is that X over Y will always equal, what do you think? A over what? Here you have what? Proportional what? Parts. Because this was created into two parts. This segment right here, move this side into parts. So, and everybody keep looking up here. I may get a really ugly answer here, but it doesn't really matter. If I was to solve right here, how could I find, would I use proportional parts or similar triangles? Which would be easier?
Similar proportional parts.
Proportional parts, because I have all the parts, don't I?
Yep.
So what do I know now?
5 over 8 equals 3 over x.
So 5x is equal to what? 24. X is equal to 4 4/5, which would equal 4.8, right? However, call this example 1, and I'll zoom out and let you copy these down in a second. Example 2, I'm going to draw the same triangle, or try to, and say this is 5 and this is 8. But then I say this is 4, we'll call this y. Here I used what? Proportional parts, right? Can I use proportional parts here? Don't write, just listen. Everybody look up here. Pencils on the, put your pencils down. Here I used proportional parts, didn't I? This part over this part equals that part over that part. Can I use proportional parts here?
No.
Why not? Because I don't have the other what? 2 parts over here. So in this case, I'm going to need to use what? Similar what? Triangles. Well, it'd be 5 over, and let's see if you guys can get this right. You guys know what I put on the bottom?
Y.
Nope. 5 over, what corresponds to the 5?
8.
No.
4?
No. Look up here. You guys had no problem saying AD over what? AB is equal to what? AE over what? AC and DE over what? BC. So you went 5 over, now this whole thing
5
needs to
plus
be
8.
what's on bottom, which is 5 plus 8, which is equal to 4 over y. Now cross multiply, you get 5y is equal to what? 52. Divide by 5. Y is equal to what? 10 2/5, which is also equal to 10.4. You see the difference between those two? Here we used what? Proportional parts. Here we used what? Similar what? Triangles, which you've got to have the whole side. For some people, it helps to think of it like this. Isn't that what guys, look right here. Don't write down. If I drew them separately, that would be 5, that would be what?
13.
This would be 4, and this would be what? See this? See how those make sense? And of course, I didn't mention this before, but these of course have to be parallel for this to work. Okay? All right, now draw that and write that down. Everybody got that? All right. One other thing that we'll have in this section really translates the same as that situation we just had. Let's say you have 3 parallel lines. Now, they don't have to be the same distance apart. They just, all 3 have to be parallel. And then draw 2 transversals. Don't have to necessarily be angled the same way or anything like that. What does this look a lot like? Look like a lot like the situation we just had? Except what's the difference? Well, in the other one, what did they end up doing? Meeting right there, right? But here, did they meet? Eventually they're going to, aren't they? So really the parts thing, that same thing applies. If this was X, and this was Y, this was A, and this was B, what do you think you can say here? When all these are parallel. What do you think you can say? X over Y is equal to what? A over B. That's simple. Okay. Let's get out our worksheet. Let's do some of these. Complete each proportion. So in some cases we're going to have proportional parts. In some cases we're probably going to have similar triangles. For this first one we've got AD over what? AC. Do I have proportional parts or 2 proportional triangles? AD over AC. So I'm talking about what? In this case, I'm talking about what? Similar what? Triangles. So AE, what's the corresponding part to AE?
AB.
AB, correct. Number 2, AD over DC. Am I talking about proportional parts or similar triangles? Proportional parts. So it'd be AE over what? Very good. You guys see the difference. That's a big part of this. Don't start on the assignment yet, please. DE over CB. Similar triangles, proportional part. Similar triangles, because DE over what? CB. So then I'd have to do AD over what? Huh? AD over what? AC? Does everybody see that? Let's look here. We got AB over AE. See, I just skipped to the right. You don't always have to start on the left. I went to the completed fraction. AB over AE. So I'm going the whole thing over the, what are my similar triangles, proportional parts? Huh? What do you guys think? AB over AE. Talking about A to B over A to E. What? Nope. Similar triangles. Because I'm talking about this whole thing right here, aren't I? When I say A to B. It's all right. Hey, at least you said something. The rest of these guys are all scared. Okay, D to E. What compares to D to E? What corresponds to it?
C to B.
Let's try 5. AB over AE. Similar triangles, proportional parts. Huh? Similar triangles. Because we're talking about the whole side, right? A to B. So if we went A to C, what would need to be here? Huh?
AD.
AD. DE over CB, we're still talking about what? Similar triangles here, aren't we? So it'd be AB is on the bottom, what would need to be on top? AE?
Yep.
Everybody understand the difference between proportional parts and similar triangles now?
Yep.
Okay, let's look at number 7. Find each value. Am I going to use similar triangles or proportional parts? Huh? Which one am I going to need to use here? Well, what's the other proportional part? A, B, and BC, right? Do I know anything about those?
No.
So I'm probably not going to use proportional parts. Anytime you use the parallel bases, you're going to need to use what? Similar what? So, that would be 4 over, what's the whole thing? 4 over what?
10.
Is equal to? Somebody tell me.
4 over 6.
I went 4
6
over
over
10,
X.
6 over x. Cross multiply, 60 is equal to 4x. This is a bad problem. We're going to ignore this one. Because nowhere did they tell us that those two are congruent. So let's go down to here. Proportional parts or similar triangles? Proportional parts. X over what? X plus 2 is equal to what? 6 over 9. We use the parts. Now, when we cross multiply, what do you get? 9x is equal to, what would I get over here?
6x plus 2.
Nope.
6
6x plus,
12.
I multiply everything up here times everything down here. Subtract 6x from both sides. Now we get 3x is equal to 12. Divide both sides by 3, and x is equal to what? Everybody okay there?
Yep.
So here, I can use both, can I? To find x, I'm going to have to use what? I need to use proportional parts, don't I? Everyone agree? To find y, I'm going to use similar triangles. I'd have 5 over, tell me what would be on bottom. Huh? Nope. 5 over 8 is equal to what? 6 over y. If I'm using similar triangles, it's got to be this part over the what? Whole thing. And we're using the basis. So you cross multiply, you get 5y is equal to 48. Y is equal to, that's 9 3/5, or 9.6. Over here, I cross multiply, I get 20 is equal to what? 3x. Divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 6 and what? 2/3? Or 6.7. Approximately 6.7. Think you guys can do that?